Hi, and thanks for joining me today on this evaluation of Priceline.com LLC website terms and conditions. Throughout this evaluation, we'll be answering several questions regarding the validity of these terms of use as a legally binding contract, and to also discuss changes that can be made to improve its validity. First, I want you to hear the very beginning of this agreement. Starting, before submitting an account registration form and or using any of these services, please read all of this agreement carefully. By accessing any areas of this site, users or you, agree to be legally bound without limitation, qualification, or change, and to abide by these terms and conditions, which will constitute our agreement. You should also read our privacy policy, which governs your use of the site and is referenced in this agreement. If at any time you do not agree with any part of this agreement, you must discontinue use of this site. Priceline.com reserves the right, in its sole discretion, to amend, modify, or alter this agreement at any time by posting the amended terms on this site. We recommend that you review these terms and conditions periodically. The amended terms shall be effective from and after the date that they are posted on the site. Additional terms may apply when you book services or when you participate in sweepstakes or other promotions available on Priceline.com. End quote. So this paragraph indicates that the type of contract this website is using is a browser rep contract. According to the IT Digital Legal Companion by Jean K. Landy and Amy J. Matro Batista, the term browser rep refers to an agreement that claims to bind the user of a website merely by the user's use of a website. By definition, there is no attempt to require any overt act of user acceptance. The browser rep presumes that the user knows of and accepts the agreement. Most browser reps are meant to deal with anonymous website use. Browser reps include terms of use that are found in many commercial and non-commercial websites. These documents are normally found by clicking a link, often rather in small type, to the terms of use at the bottom of each page on a site. As you can tell from the language, it seems as though Priceline is very confident in the validity of their browser wrap agreement. Although the verbiage used might seem unquestionably valid, the statement in bold, which is before submitting an account registration form and or using any of these services, please read all of this agreement, implies that a website user should know better than to register before reading the terms and conditions. The reality is that making that assumption can be costly for a company. After doing research on several cases in which companies had browser wrap contracts, I came across Long versus Provide Commerce, Inc. in the Internet Social Media blog by Carolyn S. Toto and Kimberly Buffington. In this case, the plaintiff had made a floral arrangement purchase that was advertised as being fully assembled on the proflowers.com website. When he received his purchase, he found that the product was do-it-yourself and required the recipient to assemble it. The plaintiff used various California statutory claims against the online retailer in a punitive class action case. The retailer relied on the arbitration provision in the terms of use, but the plaintiff argued he hadn't agreed to the terms of use and was not bound by that browser wrap agreement. When the court did its evaluation, they considered aspects like the design of the website and the conspicuous nature of the hyperlink, the size of the font, website background colors, and even the proximity to other hyperlinks were all elements that were taken into consideration. In the end, the court stated that placing a hyperlink to the terms, even if the hyperlink itself is conspicuous, is by itself insufficient to place a user on constructive notice. The court reasoned that a conspicuous textual notice should be added to the website besides a hyperlink text that notifies consumers that the hyperlinked page contains binding contractual terms. There are several other cases like this, including Wen versus Barnes & Nobles and Ingrid Zappel's Inc. customer data security breach litigation. The most important factor to consider when looking at each browser wrap case is the importance of design elements on the website's page. In each case, the court agreed with the plaintiff. Because there's no prompt for the user to read the TNC, which is terms and conditions, and the design of the hyperlink is poor, the agreement is not valid. This means Priceline's browser wrap agreement would likely not stand up in court. The hyperlink is at the very bottom of the page and is very small. There are no prompts on the page that suggest a user should read the terms and conditions prior to registering for the site. Assuming that a user is not enough to make the agreement valid. Because this is a browser wrap agreement, website visitors are understood to be bound by the terms despite not clicking agree. Although this is a case, if you were to have a dispute with Priceline, you could possibly sue the company. In Section A of the Terms and Conditions, Arbitration and Dispute Resolution, Priceline states the process for disputes. They basically want users to go through their mandatory arbitration provision, which requires disputes to go through small claims court or be resolved by binding arbitration. That being said, the validity of the agreement is questionable because of the browser wrap contract. If a user were to choose to sue Priceline, it is possible that a court will deem this entire agreement invalid because of the inconspicuous nature of the terms and conditions hyperlink. In order to make this a valid agreement, I would make the agreement a click wrap instead of a browser wrap. A click wrap, according to the IT Digital Legal Companion, is an agreement that obtains the user's affirmative acceptance electronically. Basically, this agreement requires a user to read the terms and conditions and click an element that is considered a digital signature before taking the next step. This ensures that your visitors are made aware of your terms and would remove their ability to claim ignorance since they've acknowledged having read the terms. It would also ensure all the design elements on the page are clear with the terms and conditions on several different parts of the home page. I would have a disclaimer by the Register Now button that would indicate users need to read the terms and conditions before clicking that button. By repeatedly establishing the importance of reading the terms and conditions, you avoid being accused of not making the agreement accessible enough. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you have any comments regarding any of the information, please feel free to leave them below. Have a nice day.